Well, we've been on quite a journey. We've learned about searchers, we've learned about search engines, we've learned about keyword research, black hat SEO, we've even learned about how to create search engine friendly websites. We've learned about how to submit them and log them and track them. And here we are, hours and hours later. If you follow the videos in a consecutive order, we've arrived at our live webpage. Now, I'm sure many of you have peeked. And of course, in the earlier videos, I brought up our URL and our listing in the SERPs several times, so you might have clicked on the site and taken a look at it. But if you haven't, and this is your first time to the video, I'm just very, very excited to say that this page has done quite well in the search engines. Now, a special note, while building it, certain things were active, certain things weren't. And while I show you this video on April 2nd, 2006. Yes, I'm actually going to timestamp this here in this video so you have an understanding about it. I just want to say that I started building this page on January 1st of 2006. So that's about, 4 months ago since you're listening to this video on April 2nd. So 4 months earlier, I started building the page, and around January 14th and 15th, I submitted the pages to the search engines, just like I showed you in a couple of videos back. Now, one thing I haven't shared with you to any great extent is that not only did I submit this page to the search engines, I submitted some additional pages, some test pages. And let me show you where they are. Now, on the live site, if I scroll down to the very, very bottom, you can see that there's some additional links. Now, these will most likely not be on the live site for people who are watching this very video a month or two when these videos go to market and when they're put in the lynda.com online library. The point is I put up a couple different landing pages, if you will, to test the keywords to see how well they would do. Now, you could even call this a somewhat black hat kind of technique I did. Yes, it's true. Even I did something maybe a little bit off color here, but I did it for training. I didn't try to deceive anybody. And again, I've stated quite prominently on the website and the other sites that this is a training SEO site and we're testing things out here. So what am I getting at? Well, let me go down here one more time. What I did is I optimized not only the site for the Santa Monica carousel, I also optimized another page for Santa Monica Pier carousel. And it's a slightly different color, as you can see. Everything's identical, but I added the word pier site-wide in all the meta tags and everything just to see how it might in fact rank. And it did rank. Also, if I go back, there's the Santa Monica merry-go-round. Identical site, but a different set of keywords, merry-go-round. And the last one, as you'll see, is the Santa Monica Pier merry-go-round. Slightly different color. A little bit different color in the text down here too, just to see how all these pages might rank. Now, is this identical content? Yes. Is it kind of black hat? Yeah, it is a little bit. But again, I will most likely be taking all these down with the exception of our training site in a matter of hours or days. Going back here, I can now show you what's also up on the live site, and that is there's just 2 areas that are now live that wasn't in the tutorial site that we work through or in your Lynda exercise files, and that is About. So when we click on About, we get some information about me, who I am as the trainer, and we talk about why this fan site for the Santa Monica Pier, and that it's a training site, and we were optimizing this site as an introduction to search engine optimization right here for lynda.com, and she has a link, and I've explained who lynda.com is and a link over here on her graphic. And then I talk about an overview of SEO and tracking the metrics. And down here, I get into the actual dates that I just mentioned on January 14th and 16th. These pages were submitted to the search engines with Adobe's Dreamweaver, formerly Macromedia, for the tutorial. So you can read through this. It's kind of cool. But what should be very, very valuable to everybody watching the video, if you go on the web right now, is to go to this About page, and you can read in this graph, this template, what am I trying to say here? In this table, my apologies, the metrics that I've measured from day one. Now, this is kind of interesting, and you can try this when you view the video. However, The search engines are very, very fickle, and your results will probably be very different than this snapshot right here on April 2nd, 2006. So let me explain this real quick. Here's the page title name. So we have the Santa Monica Carousel, A Fan's Love Story. The actual file name is Carousel Santa Monica HTML. The primary keywords we used actually as a little team here learning all this stuff, was Santa Monica Carousel. I submitted this page to Google on the 14th, January 14th of 2006, same to MSN and to Yahoo, and I even was able to find a category in the Open Directory project, DMOZ, but I've checked and we're not there. And so there's no listing there, obviously. The first listing date ever in a search engine was MSN, and the listing was P1, which stands for Page 1, R4, Rank 4. So Page 1, Rank 4, MSN gave it to us first. Now, if we go down, you'll notice that MSN was the first search engine to actually rank all the pages. Now, this one's a little weird. Under this one, Merry-Go-Round Santa Monica Pier, they actually ranked the About page for those search queries. Now, remember, when I did a search for this in the SERPs, I used these exact words, not HTML, of course, but the search query words over here, and we showed up. And I also checked the site operator and all that kind of stuff, too. So how are we actually doing at the very moment, this snapshot moment that I'm making this video while I'm talking to you? Well, I just checked. And as of 4/2/06, we were number 2 in MSN for the Santa Monica Carousel, Yahoo 0, Google we were 5. For the Carousel, Santa Monica Pier Carousel, we were 3 on MSN, nothing on Yahoo and nothing on Google. For Merry-Go-Round Santa Monica, we were number 1 in MSN, 0 in Yahoo, and number 2 in Google, which is great. And over here on Santa Monica Pier Merry-Go-Round, we were 2 in MSN, 0 in Yahoo, 0 in Google. And this page doesn't really count because it's pretty targeted, and that was a search for Richard John Jenkins, Santa Monica Pier, or a combination of any of these words. And because it's highly targeted, we were actually number 1 in all the search engines. So you're probably going, well, Richard, what's up with Yahoo? Why nothing in Yahoo? Well, good question. I've been watching Yahoo for months, as you probably can imagine, and checking and checking and checking. And it appears that it has just been indexed. Believe it or not, the site appears to have just been indexed around, I would say, March 25th. That's just 4 or 5 days ago, about a week ago. And now I expect us to see some kind of search query result ranking in Yahoo. So when you're watching this, I would encourage you to check Yahoo's ranking for the test site and see if these numbers change. I will periodically come in here and update this. Maybe every couple months I'll come in and change this date and change the rank like this. I'm not really going to do a historical tracking. So bottom line is we did really well out of the gate, certainly in MSN, who loves us. And, Google, number 2 is not too shabby right there. And number 5, everything's on page 1. So we did pretty well in our SEO for the site. All right, so check it out. Again, there are some other sites up here, but they will probably be gone. And you can contact me directly here. There's an email address. You've seen my website a million times. I'm sorry if I overdid that. It wasn't intentional. It was just for training. And, of course, there's lynda.com, and you can contact lynda.com, too, if you need be. So that wraps up this video. Let's get on to the next one. Oh, one more thing I almost forgot. Remember these two? Well, if it wasn't for our website, Julie would never have found the Santa Monica Pier. Julie would never have found a terrific site about a story about a guy and his dad on the Santa Monica Pier when he was a kid. And Julie was very, very happy when she took her little trip out to Los Angeles, as you can see. Not only did she find someone she contacted on a website called the Santa Monica Carousel, a fan's love story, but she went out there and took a spin with her honey and had a great vacation because of us.